So thank you to Amalia, Mano, Shreya, and Rahul. Rahul is off uh, for being here today. And Espousal, as we all know, has now gone international, and we are looking forward to a lot of people coming from a lot of countries, and we are talking to countries across the globe. It's really becoming nice, and we are really proud of what is happening. So we'll have a quick round of. Amalia, you're making too much noise. So we'll have a quick round of introductions. But before we do that, let's make some rules on the game so that we keep ourselves on mute when we are not speaking and we try not to speak over each other. We're going to be talking about destination weddings today. But Manu, over to you first to introduce yourself, please. If you're there, if you can unmute and tell us about yourself. Manu? Okay, Manu is just about getting used to Clubhouse, so therefore he has no picture also. Okay, we move on to Shreya. Shreya, all yours. Maybe 60 seconds. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, Arvind, firstly, for having me here. 60 seconds and myself, we have been into the industry from the last 9 years. 60 seconds was incorporated in 2018, and we look into hospitality logistics, more into destination weddings, where we create guest experience for everyone traveling from around the world. So that's what we do.
Absolutely fantastic. You took less than 60 seconds for that, Shreya. So Shreya Mistry runs 60 seconds, a very, very interesting, very novel concept. More about that, check out her website. A lot about her on her Insta page too. And we're going to quickly move on to Rahul. Rahul from Vivaah Celebrations from Dubai. Tell us a little bit in 60 seconds, Rahul, about yourself. Okay, so Rahul is having connectivity issues. Mano, you is also having connectivity issues. Okay, over to you, Amalia, with all the sound in the background, all the way from Italy, right now in London. Tell us about yourself.
Exactly. Based in London. Thank you, Arvind. And yeah, 12, more than 12 years of experience delivering high luxury events and weddings. And as Italian, most of my clients asking for Italian destination. We working very well also in London with Asian weddings as well.
Wonderful, superb. Yes. So we are going to talk today about destination weddings, okay? And one question that has been bothering me ever since I was very young and I heard about destination weddings. I remember the Prince Charles wedding and all of that. Why do people actually opt for destination weddings? What is that keench, as we say in Hindi? What is the thing that makes us go for destination weddings, Shreya?
So I think firstly it's more about how intimate it gets, because when you are doing it in your own city, the most of the venues that you invite your guests to are mostly done and dusted. When you talk about a destination one, it becomes a very intimate personal affair with somewhere around 300 400 people who are very important to you, and it becomes a full new destination where the backdrop changes, the hotel experience changes. So I think that's why people usually opt for a destination wedding.
For something new, something that is out of the ordinary. Okay, that is what Shreya tells us. Thank you, Shreya. I'm going to pass this one to Rahul. Rahul, why do people, and Rahul being uh, destination wedding over 23 countries, I was talking to Rahul on Insta a couple of days ago. Uh, 23 countries he has done weddings in. Tell us a little bit more, Rahul, on your opinion. Mhm. Rahul is not there. So there is some issue. So we'll move this to Amalia and ask you, what do you think, Amalia? Why do people opt? Why should I come to Italy to get married? Why should I not get married in India?
Thank you for asking because it's a beautiful question for me to reply. Because in my case, it's not in terms of intimate weddings, but who choose Italian destination is because has a connection with Italy, so they want to join again with the families, and they want to create a huge wedding. So Italy has known as also be beautiful for multiple location and venues, and there's not so much to do in Italy in terms of decor and settings, because Italy, for the most famous destination, is already the nature is the proper background. um, so who choose Italy is because has connection with the family in there, because one of the two member of the couple has Italian origin, or still with the family in there. And also who is choosing Italy, like celebrities, as we know, also many other couple, even if they don't have connection with their families, is because they choose Italy for the beauty of the Italy and the
Wow.
food and the hospitality and so much going on in Italy.
So the reasons are quite diverse. Shreya tells us something about something new, and Amalia tells us about you have to come to Italy because it's a gorgeous place and all of that. Mano, if you're there, Mano, Rahul is not able to join. Mano, if you're there, it would be great. Rohan, can you help to make Mano unmute? Is there such a thing in Clubhouse? I'm not very clear about all this myself. Uh, let's quickly move on in that case. And since we have the two ladies who are talking to us, and welcome Shrikant Kanoy and Prageet from Colombo Weddings is also here, and good, interesting crowd. Okay, tell me, Shreya, uh, these destinations, and you have done a lot of these. Okay, uh, can we say that a destination wedding can also have some kind of categories in terms of ABC 1 to 10? What are the kind of budgets that should one look at? What is the minimum budget that I can do a destination wedding? Now you will tell me it depends on the destination, but the question is a little skewed. Okay, what should be the minimum budget in which I want to do a destination wedding in or outside India with about 200 people?
So, Arvind, I think when it comes to a destination wedding, of course, we have tier A, B, and C, where there are huge chunk of people who opt for tier C because of the budget constraints, because of the destination constraints and travel logistic constraints. But at the same time, there are people who really want to go all out. And when we talk about budgets, it starts somewhere with 50 lakhs and it goes to amount we all of us would not think about.
Right. So you're saying that in 50 lakhs, and if I have to convert that into dollars quickly, which will be about five thousand, say $10,000 to be on the safe side. So we can do a good basic destination wedding for 200 people in about $10,000. Is that what we're saying?
If you're talking about Indian destination weddings for some of that amount, definitely yes. Internationally, of course, the bar raise is higher.
Right, right. Amalia, do you have a price? If you can talk in dollars so that we are all kind of on the same page. Do you have some kind of a price which you can quote to us and tell us if people from India want to come and do a wedding in Italy, what should their budgets be?
Are we talking about how many guests?
200?
200. So let's say usually when you move, depending of course the amount of Italian side and how many Indians might comes, if we can say half half, like half part
So
of the
let
guests
us,
are.
I'm sorry. I'm saying let's not talk about flight tickets. Let's talk about stay. We won't talk about travel. We'll talk about the stay and a 3 day or a 2.5 day wedding in Italy for 200 people.
Only travels, did you say?
No travel.
Without travel.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that budgeting is always a question mark, when we talk about decor and planning. But let's say that you can even plan a great wedding, even, with 25K, because as I mentioned before, previously, um, there's not much need to do in terms of decor if you are happy to use the natural as a background. So let's say with the minimum 25K, you are able to have your guests celebrating, the wedding. And then we increase how many days is the celebration, how much, you want the decor, because we know Indians, they love having a great decoration using flowers and furniture as well. So let's say starting from a minimum 25K
So we talk about
upwards.
euros, right?
Euros. Yeah.
Euros.
Let's
Okay.
say 30-40K dollar.
30-40K dollar.
It
Okay.
is the minimum that you can do it. Yeah.
Okay. So that is about three times the cost that we would look at in India. So, okay, that's a pretty good comparison on what we are trying to discuss. Fantastic. Okay. So if we have to go to Italy, we know whom to contact. And, and Shreya is here for the rest of it, and it's going to be very interesting. But tell me, Shreya, there are people who try and pull off weddings on their own, and we know a lot of them. Yeah, we know a lot of people who try and pull off weddings on their own. Let's talk about and stick to the destination bit. Uh, what is the percentage of people that you know who try and do this, and any piece of advice to them?
There are people who plan their own weddings, and according to the Indian statistics, I think 34% people opt to plan their own wedding. Rest, they still opt for a wedding planner. What we suggest is, why don't you be a guest at your own weddings? Come enjoy your wedding and leave the rest to us. We will take care of everything that you need, from your wardrobe planning to your guest list to your guest management to your decor styling, everything that is needed. We are in the times where we have to accept that we can afford people who can plan our special day. That's what
Um,
I would think about.
Right, but this is heartening to note, Shreya. I mean, this is very interesting that only 34, and I'm saying only now, 34% people plan their own weddings in India, whereas I'm sure this number was much higher even 5 or 10 years ago. So the space has really opened up in terms of wedding planners in this country, in India. And also that 34%, and for everybody who's out there listening to this, there are still 34% of people who need to be goaded and chided a little bit so that they can get to the wedding planners. But over to you, Amalia. Tell us a little bit more about what you think about people who wanted. Are there those kind of people in Italy or in London also who try and plan their own weddings? And do you have some statistics of what percentage of people try and do that?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. Could you please repeat for me?
Okay. So there are certain kind of couples in the
Yeah.
world who do not go to a wedding planner. They do it themselves, right? They want to plan the entire wedding on their
Yes.
own, right? Are there these kind of people in Italy?
Oh, yes, many. Many, because in Italy the approach is still, let's say, is a traditional country, Italy, and still some professionals and jobs are still not new. Even, of course, it's not a new job. It's still something. How to say? Looks like luxurious to have a wedding planner. So, on generally on the normal couple, there's a big part that they do by themselves.
Okay, okay. And
Yes,
are there a
because there's
lot?
the mom, because there's the auntie, because there's the sister, and they make all together and they do by own.
I just love the way Amalia speaks, you know. I mean, her voice is that sing song, and it keeps going on. I'm so sorry, Amalia.
It's
So, yeah,
okay.
no, I mean, that was a compliment from me. But
Thank you.
how many people, Amalia, out of 100, how many people do you think plan their own weddings in Italy?
But let's say we can say 70% of people still doing by themselves, and the rest of 30% using a professional.
Shreya Mistry, I hope you're listening to that.
I
Chalo,
am.
Italy. Chalo Italy, chalo Italy. Okay. I mean, if nothing else out of sessions like this, you know, there is an opportunity. We need to learn how to tap it. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to get a few of our Indian wedding planners, Amalia, to come and give you some serious competition in Italy now. Yeah. So that is great. That's getting fantastic. Yeah. Uh, So you want to say something, Amalia, to the people, this 70% of people who are planning their own weddings. You want to tell them something about why they should be using a wedding planner?
But let's say, as a planner, is always a good advice from us to say to use a professional because for many facts. First of all, because has relationship and already solid collaboration with suppliers, so makes easier and smoothies the progress of the day and the coordination between supplier. um, it's like working in a team, and when all together they work smoothly together, also guests they leave the atmosphere in a soft and relaxing environment.
Super.
When there are some tension, of course this tension between professional and suppliers is visible, through the guest. So let's say relationship and dealing better with suppliers through a wedding planner, the
Right,
first thing. And
right.
secondly, the coordination, because on that day, as we know, the bride, or even if she had help through friends, between mom or whatever, there are all involved in the weddings. So at that day, there's the emotional that play a very huge part of the day. So they don't have the, let's say, that clear approach to manage what's going on, to manage last second maybe issue, and maybe they are not able to get an immediately, um, let's say, be able to change in a fast paced mode if we need to change something, because
Right,
only professional know how to react in the last minutes, because we have the experience and we know what to do promptly.
super.
Instead, no professional, if there happens some last minute issue, they might not be able to manage,
Right.
or they are not able to take the prompted decision, or because of course, as I mentioned, there's they are involved emotionally in that day. They are not able to see if there's something wrong happening.
Right, right, right. So this clubhouse is a very new and a very interesting space that we are also trying to develop as one of our verticals, talking about things like this. So it's a good idea for all of you to, try and get more followers on Clubhouse and follow more people so that we are able to get more and more great sessions on every Monday at 7:15. I know that Mano and Rahul, who are our speakers for the day, are not able to join. I have also about 4 or 5 people who wanted to come and attend the session who are not able to join. But that's okay. This will get into a podcast and all of that will happen. It's going to get interesting. Uh, any venue, Shreya, or venues that you would want to talk about, destination venues uh, that you think are absolutely fantastic, and maybe you want to promote, talk about some great venues. I know you are also on the verge of getting married, or you just got married. I'm a little confused. You got engaged, right? So, are you there, Shreya?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, so destinations I think that we would like to promote or which are going to be a hot cake is one, I think Turkey. Because when you talk about Turkey, Titanic Mardan Palace in Antalya, it's a fab
Wow.
property. A very less touched, but a fab property. When talking about India, I think it's going to be Raffles Udaipur. Because when we talk about Rajasthan, particularly in India, maximum hotels have been done and dusted. Maximum of your destinations in Rajasthan are done and dusted. So the only hotcake property which has just opened up with a beautiful view and everything is Raffles Udaipur. So I think these are
Wow.
the two destinations I would personally promote, where I think untouched, virgin, and fabulous.
Okay. But Udaipur has got a lot of venues, Shreya. Raffles, what is the capacity of Raffles?
Raffles is somewhere around, I believe, 250 rooms.
Wow, wow.
200 rooms, yeah.
Okay, so that's super. So, Shreya has spoken about two of her favorite venues that she would recommend to people who want to get into destination weddings. Amalia, would you like to tell us about a couple of venues in Italy?
Oh, well, Italy is so different from north, south, mountain, seaside, because it's a little country that is able to provide many choices. But let's say that the most common venues and places are in Lake Como, if we are talking about north, or cities as well, like Venice,
Wow.
because there are old style luxury hotel palaces for, let's say, imperial style team wedding.
Hmm.
If we pass through, let's say, from Rome to south, there's Amalfi Coast. That is another great destination, famous from people abroad. And then, let's say, has Italy also of islands, let's say, that between Sardinia, Sicily, there's on the Sicilian islands as well as small islands, the Eolie Islands that there are pretty and they offer a great tour between the five little islands around them. But well, also Rome, as I mentioned before, offer a great of history. If you know want to get also the side of the history of the Italian side.
Hmm.
Well, and mountain also, who choose, mountain. There are great places in Dolomite.
Hmm. Wow.
Uh,
I think it's time to go to Italy. That's for sure. I can see.
We
Yeah.
are
yes,
joining.
I mean,
definitely. You
yeah.
need to
Let's.
also have time, to be able to visit north, center, south, because it's different. The food is different, also the weather, the temperature. You can talk about, for example, a beach wedding, but of course, beach wedding needs to be on South Italy, and north, for example, in the north. North is more, let's say, more cities in the industrial, approach.
Okay.
Um, we have also close the Côte d'Azur, South of France, for another destination beach wedding. And then cities, history, a great landscape, Amalfi Coast, as I mentioned, and close to Amalfi Coast, there's Capri. Mm,
Wow.
mm. So it's hard, to suggest, because also the venue, there are all height luxury, as I mentioned, like in Venice, royal palaces, and in terms of luxury settings. Or in South Italy, like Puglia, there's they call. There are like a country location, country houses.
Hmm.
They have a specific name in Italy, Trulli. This is typical from Puglia.
Okay.
So it's very different. As I told you, it's a very small country, but offer different many choices, different from each other.
Super. Out of so many people that I have met internationally, thanks to espousal, Amalia is definitely one person whom I can sit and talk to, actually listen to for the longest time. I just love the amount of detail that you give about every conversation that we have had over the last couple of years now. So I have a suggestion for you, Amalia. This podcast will come out. You should share it with the Tourism Ministry of Italy and tell them to send you a check.
Oh yes, definitely I will do. But this clubhouse is great, so definitely.
Yeah, you send them. We will send you a link of the Shivangi will send you a link of the podcast whenever it is up, maybe later tonight or tomorrow, and you just forward that to the Tourism Ministry of Italy and tell them to send a check. Okay, like money, maniana, right? So that'll be good. So
Definitely, yes, happy
yeah,
to do that.
and share some with us also. Okay. So, so Shreya, like you have done so many weddings, Shreya, right? So many of these international weddings. Can you want to tell us about one of the best weddings that you have done in your books, be it commercially or be it in terms of just the splendor and the decor of that?
Absolutely. So I remember coming to Antalya Max Royal Resorts, and I think that property in itself is a paradise, number one. And when you enhance it with your decor, it becomes a mesmerizing place. It becomes some place that you don't want to leave back, and you still hold on to the memories since 2019. So we did a wedding for a Gujarati family in Ahmedabad, where I we actually shifted our base from Bombay to Ahmedabad for almost 6 months, doing everything we could, and then we were right there in Antalya, executing the entire wedding. I think it was one of the best experiences we have had. One, because of the destination, of course. For some reason, Turkey is very close to my heart, and two, the property itself was beautiful. So
Right.
commercially, or you say aesthetically, it was one of the best projects we did.
Superb, superb. So Antalya is a place that a lot of Indians are visiting, and I think must be at least about more than a dozen Indian weddings that happen in Antalya every year now. So
Yes.
that is great. Yeah. Moving on to Amalia, you want to tell us about a wedding that you have done uh, that you have really enjoyed doing and being a part of?
Thank you for asking this. Obviously, as I mentioned, Italy, but I have to say that Italy is still a traditional country, so they don't go over the limits. They like to set everything as we imagine. So the most, let's say, colorful and the most creative wedding that I design, there are the one here in London, because there are so much more Indians and Asian weddings, and it's like to be in your country, because here the Indian and Asian population is huge. It's like to be in your country, as I mentioned. So they proper celebrate. Like in your country, with the multiple days, bringing the family from India, and welcome the community. They are instead here set in London. Um, Many guests and a huge ballroom, where decor, smells, and flowers are the main factor of the day in terms of decoration and setting. So let's say that between the two countries, London is the one who wins.
Right. Yeah, because you favor London all the time. But yeah, but thank you so much, Amalia and Shreya, today. That from a very big fat Indian wedding perspective, I think we have learned about a few more venues across the world. What do you say, Shreya? And yeah, we can have some new venues that we can talk about when we are talking to our prospective clients.
Absolutely. I think this was very insightful way Amalia told us about how Italy functions, and it would have been actually very great listening to Mano and Rahul as well to understand Dubai and Sri Lanka as a destination too.
Yeah, we will do this again. I think we are having some issue with Clubhouse because I'm getting a lot of messages saying that they are not able to join in. But let's see. We will do this again next Monday, 7:15.
Definitely waiting for the next time.
Yes, yeah, and we will invite both of you one more time with a few more panelists for another session. But do keep in touch. Clubhouse 7:15, espousal room every Monday 7:15 India time. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you. Speak
Arvind.
soon.
Thank you, Amalia, for joining.
Thank you very much to all of you. Lovely to talk with you. Bye.
Bye bye.